This is Optimal Living Daily Relationships, Episode 60, Just Show Up, The Curse of the Participation Award by Angela Bergman with FamilyOptimize.com. Hello, Relationship Optimizers. I'm Joss Marie, your host and personal narrator right here on the Relationships edition of Optimal Living Daily. And this is the show where I read to you every single weekday from some of the best relationship blogs on the planet. Hard to believe, but today marks the third month of this show already. And that means my little guy is almost 15 months old now. Wow, where's the time go? Speaking of my son, today I have a parenting post from Angela Bergman with FamilyOptimize.com. This post is brought to you by Kind, makers of healthy and delicious snacks. Now you can try their sample box with 10 different Kind bars for just $10 with free shipping. That's a $20 value. For details, go to kindsnacks.com/living. Also, we'd just like to let you know that today's content could be controversial. Nevertheless, we're happy to share it because we like to present many different viewpoints on topics. And with that, let's hear today's parenting post and start optimizing your life. Just Show Up, The Curse of the Participation Award by Angela Bergman with FamilyOptimize.com. I love the idea of celebrating each child's best. That's our job as parents, to acknowledge and give the proverbial pat on the back when our kids give it all they've got. Home is a safe place for everyone. Home is where everyone is loved and praised, or at least that's what it should be. But things have gotten out of control. Schools and sports organizations have taken it upon themselves to hand out accolades to everyone who participates. There is no more first, second, and third place. We're all winners, as long as our body shows up and goes through the motions. Kids hardly even have to try and they'll be rewarded. Just show up. I attended the Meet the Teacher event at my son's new high school in fall. We went to each classroom, recreating a mini day in the life of our student, and heard each of their teachers describe their plan for the semester. One teacher informed us that our child would pass if they just showed up to class. All they had to do was the bare minimum, and they would move on to the next grade level. What? I know this happens in elementary school, but now it's moved into our high schools? The Just Show Up award system. Just showing up isn't enough. When you go to university or college, you're not going to get your degree if you just show up. When you get hired for a job, you're not going to get very far if you just show up. If you get married or are in a long-term committed relationship, your relationship is going to suffer if you just show up. When you become a parent, your kids are going to run your house if you just show up. No free passes. When I was a kid, my elementary school held firmly to the pass-fail system. I had to work hard to get my grades. There were no handouts. We saw 1 or 2 kids fail each year, and we accepted kids 1 year older than us into our fold when they couldn't make the grade. There were no free passes in my school. And when I entered the competitive world of piano competitions, I learned that just because I was a pretty good piano player, I didn't necessarily win. In fact, I entered many competitions before I finally won my first trophy, and I never won another piano trophy after that. That win, my one win, was huge to me. I'll always remember the shock and surprise when the adjudicator called my name and congratulated me. I'll never forget the trophy that sat on top of my piano and inspired me for 1 full year before I had to give it back and it was awarded to the next deserving recipient. I was still a good piano player even though I didn't have a trophy sitting on my piano. I didn't question my ability. I still did the best I could. I diligently practiced 5 or 6 days a week even after I was no longer considered a winner. I didn't need a trophy to tell me that I was good enough. Kids today. My oldest 2 boys have at least 1 medal for each year they played soccer. They also received medals for every tournament they played in. Not tournaments where they came in first place, tournaments they participated in. They showed up to the tournament and they automatically got a medal. Where are those medals? not proudly displayed somewhere to remind them of their soccer accomplishments. They're somewhere in our house, but they don't mean anything to my boys. This way of thinking in participation awards is not helping our children as much as we think it is. The generation we are raising is the most selfish and self-entitled group of kids I've ever seen. And in hindsight, I thought I was a pain in the butt. Our kids now expect us to do everything for them. Everything falls into their laps because they just need to show up. This may be the case in school and in their extracurricular activities, but this should only be the case at home. Part of the problem is when kids do achieve a higher level than their peers, they don't receive the proper acknowledgement. When everyone gets a medal or a pass, the just show up attitude is perpetuated. First place no longer matters, and it shouldn't. But why are we afraid to make a distinction between you did your best and you won, or you got the highest mark, and you showed up, therefore you passed? My high school student watches as some of his peers show up, do the bare minimum, and pass, while he works hard, gets top marks, but no acknowledgement. How long before he figures out that he doesn't have to try? Home is where everyone wins. Home should be the only place where everyone gets a free pass, because that's where it really matters. Even though I like to, I don't need to win at work or at the gym in order to be loved. My family is what really matters to me. I may not always be my best at home. We all have bad days and it always comes out at home. But I know I am loved and accepted in the four walls that keep me and my family warm and dry. Some days, all we can do is show up, and that's okay. But if you want to be better than subpar, it's time to stop aiming for the participation medal and instead aim to do your best. Teach your children that showing up is not enough. Let them know that they should always strive to do their best, even if no one acknowledges their above-average effort. They may not make it to first place, because first place is a rare thing for our children these days. But they will begin to build in themselves a sense of pride that will help them in years to come. You just listened to the post titled, Just Show Up, The Curse of the Participation Award by Angela Bergman with FamilyOptimize.com. This is actually the second time we're sharing Angela's content here on Optimal Living Daily Relationships. She's a contributor from FamilyOptimize.com who we look forward to featuring even more in the future. Today's post is brought to you in large part by Kind. They make delicious, healthy snacks using whole ingredients you can recognize and pronounce. Go ahead and throw them in your purse or diaper bag as a satisfying snack for both you and your kiddos. If you're ready to try some tasty and healthy snacks, we've got a special deal just for you. For $10, you'll get a box with 10 Kind snacks inside, including free shipping. That's a $20 value you're getting for just $10. When you order the sample box, you'll also get to try Kind Snack Club, where you'll receive monthly snacks at a discount, starting with $10 off your first Snack Club order. All their snacks are gluten-free, low sodium, contain no sugar alcohols, and are made without genetically modified ingredients. Not to mention, they taste phenomenal. Once you try their dark chocolate chunk, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. To pick up your sample box, go to kindsnacks.com/living. That's KIND snacks.com/living. And that's a wrap for episode 60. Wow, 3 months down just like that. We couldn't have done it without you, so we'd all like to say thank you from the team here at Optimal Living Daily. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you again on Monday, where your optimal life awaits.
Hello, Life Optimizer. This is Justin Malik, creator and producer of this podcast, but also Optimal Living Daily, the show where I read to you from even more blogs covering finance, productivity, minimalism, personal development, and more from incredible bloggers like Derek Sivers, Zen Habits, Mark and Angel, The Minimalists, and all the ones you hear on this show too. So if you enjoyed today's episode and like taking amazing blogs on the go, come on over to Optimal Living Daily and subscribe to that one too. And together, we'll start optimizing your life.
You've been listening to Optimal Living Daily. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on each new episode and head to oldpodcast.com. That's OLDpodcast.com for a free gift as well as more actionable tips and resources to help you maximize your potential. Thanks for joining us, and remember, your optimal life awaits.